Okay, guys, the Deion Sanders saga continues. What is up, Colorado fans, Big 12 fans, and anyone watching this just because you're interested in the Deion Sanders story? A lot going on. And the news keeps seeming to get hotter and hotter around the idea of Deion Sanders potentially leaving. It looks like, based on the reports, that Deion Sanders came out and asked for more NIL money, and there's supposedly a contract extension on the table that he hasn't signed yet. We're going to dive into it today, guys. We're going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the article now. Okay, guys, and the article will walk us through a little bit about this story here. It's an On3 article. Report Deion Sanders um, met with resistance after asking Colorado for more NIL resources amid NFL interest. So, as rumors swirl around Deion Sanders and the Dallas Cowboys head coach vacancy, details are starting to emerge about the talks between Coach Prime and Colorado. NFL Network's Jane Slater reported Sanders asked CU Athletics Director Rick George for additional NIL and staff resources amid the Cowboys' pursuit, but he was met with resistance. Sanders confirmed he spoke with Jerry Jones about the Cowboys opening after the franchise parted ways with Mike McCarthy this week. He told ESPN's Adam Schefter it was intriguing to talk to Jones about the position, but acknowledged his focus on his current situation at Colorado. Sanders is one of few names starting to emerge in the early stages of the Cowboys search, along with Robert Saleh and Kellen Moore. Saleh has an interview scheduled, and Dallas requested one with Moore. Funny enough, both those guys, I'm a Jets fan, and both those guys are, tied to the Jets in some ways. But Sanders is still a prominent name in the first few days after McCarthy's departure. And based on Slater's report, conversations are starting in Boulder. One thing to watch following Jerry Jones and his initial discussions with Deion Sanders, Slater wrote on X. Two people with knowledge of the situation tell me Sanders approached Colorado AD Rick George Tuesday about additional money for NIL and his staff. He was met with resistance. The University of Colorado would neither confirm or deny the information when I reached out. Deion Sanders didn't respond when reached multiple times for comment. Okay, guys, stick around. I'm going to give you my final thoughts on what's going on here. Also, if you stuck around for the whole article, make sure you guys like it if you appreciate these. I don't want to do these article videos if you have no interest. I do find them interesting, so I want to know if you guys do too. Also, comment down below. What are you guys thinking? What's the buzz right now? I'm going to give you my final thoughts on it, but how are you feeling right now? You feel like there's a good chance Deion Sanders leaves, whether it's for the Cowboys or a different team? Let me know your thoughts, and I'm going to give you mine here in a second. Okay, guys, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts here. So the saga continues with Deion Sanders, right? So much going on, so much swirl, so much intrigue around the Deion Sanders Colorado situation. It starts with the Raiders, him voicing from his sources around him, voicing that he has interest in the Raiders saying they don't have interest in Deion. Then the Cowboys information comes out, right? That and then he comments on it. It's intriguing. And now we're hearing there's pushback with the NIL at Colorado. So I'd say this. Where my mind's at is, believe it or not, this situation makes me feel that it is more likely that Deion Sanders stays at Colorado than I felt a day or two. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason I feel like it's more likely is this feels purposeful on Deion Sanders' part, where he's saying, hey, I want to be here. I'm leaking this out to say, hey, I want to be here, but you guys need to give me the NIL, right? And I'm guessing this meeting really did happen, right? Where it's, hey, I want to be here, but I need you guys to up the NIL. And now he's leaking it to say, hey, I need you guys to go ahead and meet your end of the bargain. Because I think where Deion is he's probably thinking, hey, I could go be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys right now, right? That's a huge, prestigious role. It would be a big deal, and I'd get to continue coaching my son. Clearly the plan would be that his son would deny playing for another team and commit to the Cowboys. I mean, that seems, without even needing to bring it up or go into more detail there. So if I'm going to pass all that up and pass up this incredible opportunity to be the Dallas Cowboys head coach, to be the head coach of my son in his NFL journey, I'm going to need you guys to get me a stack of money, and I'm going to need you guys to let me go make Colorado one of the best rosters in the country. Now, Colorado's already put out a very competitive roster. Just to give you guys an idea, composite rankings for college. Let's see if we can grab this. So just to give you guys an idea where Colorado was this past year. So this is the 2024 college football composite rankings. They were the 31st roster in college football with three former 5-star players, 20 former 4-star players, and 37 3-stars. So a little top heavy, right? Not a ton of 3-star depth, but a lot of former 4 and 5-star players. But he wants to build out an amazing roster. And if he's going to pass up this opportunity, he wants it to be, well worth it. And he wants you to give him the money to build a top of college football roster, right? And just to give you guys an idea, let's take a look at where Colorado was roster quality wise before Deion Sanders got there. That'll be, for me, I think that's very interesting. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but according to 24/7 Sports, this would be his first year would have been 2023. So in 2022, where was Colorado? All right. I'm having to scroll down quite a bit. So they were the 63rd roster in college football in 2022. And then in 2023, Deion Sanders comes in. And where is their roster his first year? They're the 35th roster, and then he gets them up to the 31st roster in college football. So he has made amazing strides. But I think if you're Deion Sanders, my guess is the point of this is, hey, I don't want the 35th roster where anytime I play an elite team, I'm always playing from behind. If you guys want me here, I want the money to rack up big time players. Like, you can't compete with the big guys if you don't spend the money to compete with the big boys. And so I want the type of money that can get me a top 15 roster. That's my take on this. And I think this is, it's not a great sign either way what's going on. I think there's a decent chance Prime does go to the NFL, but I think this is leaning towards Prime staying in college football, at least if you look at it through that lens. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. Seriously, comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. We put out a ton of content for all Big 12 teams. Hit the like button. I'm out of here. Go Big 12.